I got a community question here from Kenneth. Does anyone have any online wealth creation courses they would like to recommend for people in Australia, whether it be property, crypto, etc.?
I wonder if we're going to say the same one first.
All right, you go. And I'll just say yes or no, I'll be honest.
Okay, so I think the number one resource, the one that changed a lot for me and I highly recommend everyone starts with, is Debt Millionaire by George Entone.
That is good. Yes. Literally, it's the wealth concepts, the greatest. If you have not read the book, don't be scared of the title. Terrible, 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 terrible title. It like leads with the wrong concept. The book itself is great.
It's a bit clickbaity, that title, isn't it? And also, I don't feel like I get it, but it's like I don't feel like it's actually what the book is about.
Yeah, I feel like it became too clickbaity. Like it almost took away from the value where people would read it and go, this is going to be the same as all these other books that were written that way. But then when you read it, you're like, yeah, no, this is fundamentally different.
Secondary I want to throw in here though, George's second book, The Wealthy Code, also really good. I would almost count them as one. I would say that combination of those two books is a great place for people to start. I would recommend that as like the first kind of resource for learning. I really would.
Interesting.
All
so
right, you're going to list out some others or shall I go?
No, I reckon we just go one on one because we're probably going to say very similar things because I know we circle around the same drain pipe. So one of the ones that is really at the top of my mind because I love the content that she pushes out and it's very property focused. And so I'll just say just consume this stuff is from Veronica Morgan over at The Elephant in the Room. I think that from a property perspective, the guests that she brings on, the content that she provides from property in Australia, hands down, I get excited to listen to that podcast and consume her content. Or watch it on YouTube. It's completely up to you how you consume it. I just think it's fantastic. And the news that they bring is very timely, etc., as well as providing foundations across the top of the property investing and stuff like that. I just think it's a good foundational, educational podcast that just everyone in property should be listening to.
I concur. Great resource. I'm going to go next one then. I think is a great YouTube channel for people that are looking to understand like the Australia-specific property concepts. It's by a guy called Kent Cliff, who's a guy in Western Australia. And what I love about his channel is he will go, this is how subdivisions work in Australia. He does a video and you can go, cool, I kind of get it. I mean, I don't know enough to do it, but I get the idea where it's like, I think it's really helpful for people understanding like making a business related is like, cool, this is marketing, this is sales, this is HR. Like he does these excellent videos and the different types. And I feel like it's almost like a great glossary of terms for people to get up to speed on the different things within it.
Yeah. See, Kent Cliff's not one I dove into too heavily. Like I've watched some of his videos on YouTube and stuff like that before, but I haven't not as religious around the property stuff, but his content is super good and super detailed, especially if you know what you're going for. You're like, cool, subdivision, like this is what I'm going for. I need to learn something. So I think Kent's great. All right, I'm going to step, even though I was like, I'm going to step away from like property, but really, no, this guy loves property as well, is Investopoly with Stuart Weems. He's great. It's funny, I actually, at the gym, I ended up basically stopped my workout, just completely stopped it. So I consumed like 4 of his episodes back to back. I think what he talks about and what he shares is some great foundational knowledge of investments. I have not read his book. Have you read his book?
I have, but I was going to say I don't necessarily think of him as a property guy. Yes, he definitely does property stuff, but one of the great things about Stuart is like I think he's more like step back, does shares, does super, does a lot of things that he's qualified, number one, and knows a lot about and has a lot of experience. I think he's great for Australians. I really do.
Yeah, and his content is bite-sized. Right, like if you listen to his podcast, like it is like 15 minutes. It's like boom, 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 boom. Like it's very structured. And his book, even though I haven't read it, I've looked at the glossary and stuff. It's like, what is it, like 10 sort of key investment strategies, something like that, piece by piece by piece. The way his brain works is very similar to myself.
Logical layouts.
All right, we'll go 1 or 2 more. How many more you got?
All right,
otherwise we're going to be here forever.
Yeah, so I'm going to give one more. I'm going to give 2 more at the same time. I think in Australia for share market related stuff, where I have learnt the most has been from a guy called Gary in Western Australia, who has Specialist Share Education. He does a weekly update video on his YouTube channel. I think it is a phenomenal starting point for people, and I've learned a lot from that. So my other recommendations obviously be more property or foundational recommendations, where this one is more share market. And I know some people may be here going, look, I just want to do property or I just want to do shares. I think learning a little bit about both is very, very helpful if you're trying to like wrap your head around it. Just like in business, right?
Yep.
I know a fair bit about e-commerce and SaaS. I don't have businesses in them, but rounding that business knowledge enables me to do the businesses I do have much, much better. And then the last one I'll just throw in here from my point of view is that like Goose from Dashdot has educated me so much like personally. And then Aaron, our mortgage broker, is like he's educated me so personally. And Anthony, our accountant, has educated me so personally. So I feel like there's a huge amount of education from the team you have that you're building wealth around.
Dude, I'll put a shout out to Anthony, the accountant. Anthony Hun. I don't always pronounce his name incorrectly.
I'm just laughing when we had him on that call to talk about trusts. And like he clearly knew what he was talking about, and we were trying to tell him why he's wrong. And it's like, and he's like, guys, it doesn't work that way.
He just ended up looking at the cameras like, why are you wasting my time?
I feel like it's trying to explain like macroeconomics to a toddler. That's what that day was. It was like so far over our head. But anyway, thank you, Anthony.
What about this? No, it comes back to if you haven't listened to the networking episode, like listen to the networking episode. It is foundationally fantastic for these points. Hey, fellow business owner, if this topic and value-packed short video has resonated with you at all, and you want to dive deeper into being a full stack business owner, check out the full episode by clicking the link on your screen or in the description right now.